Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're taking a look at the Pennsylvania Railroad S2 steam turbine from Broadway Limited. Now this just isn't any normal plastic model. This is a brass hybrid model, which means a lot of it is brass in the details, and Broadway Limited does the brass hybrid game better than anybody else. One of the few places that does brass hybrid. And then this is also Paragon 3, which means if you have your subwoofer, you can use that to supplement the sounds. In the box, you've got the Paragon 3 operator's manual. It's called Rolling Thunder, and that subwoofer gives you kind of a trackside experience. Many pages in the manual, 31 in total, talking about functions and everything else. Inside, you've got instructions for sound, adding smoke fluid, and configuration variables. You also have the function key definitions for the turbine, which you can pause if you want to know more about. You've got an exploded parts diagram, as you can see there. In case any parts come off, you can order them. You've got a 1-year limited warranty card from Broadway Limited, and you've got a Choo Choo Shoes flyer with different variations of Choo Choo Shoes. We're going to take the foam off of the box here, get this locomotive out, and see what's in store. It's a beautiful locomotive. I've seen pictures of it, and now we've got the model to review here. And also in the box you've got traction tires with a tool, an extra coupler for the front coupler, I believe, and a funnel for the smoke fluid. Smoke fluid itself is not included any longer in Broadway Limited products, so I encourage you to purchase your own, the kind you like. We'll get this unwrapped, take a closer look next. So we're going to start from the front, take a look at the locomotive here. You've got smoke box door with Pennsylvania Railroad logo up front with the cab number. You've got a headlight there that's LED. You've got the elephant ears, or smoke deflectors as they're called, with bracing across the front. Classification lights that are non-operational, but they do have like a prism effect where they catch the light and look like they're lit. I looked at those pretty closely, and that's the only thing I can tell. It's like they've almost intentionally done it, but at certain angles it looks like they're lit. Below here you've got this grill here. You've got the coupler, which is, this is a dummy coupler that's in the down position here. And I don't know if this rotates up. Looks like it does. Rotate up. And that front coupler included, or they included, you can replace that with, but that can be in the stowed or up position. And that's correct per the real thing. Got the air hoses for the brake line right here. Coupler cut lever and crew access ladders inside of the smoke deflector there to go up to the walkway. Now on the side you get some interesting different features that you don't see. This is because it's a steam turbine locomotive, so it has a very special configuration to run, and you've got a lot of the same steam details like the side rods, drivers. You've got something that's really unique is the 4 smokestacks up top for the steam turbine. This was an experimental type of locomotive for Pennsylvania Railroad. You've also got a lot of plumbing up top, rivet detail, builder's plates, valves, dynamo, whistles, or the whistle I should say, the plumbing up front there, and down here by the firebox you've got some jacketing and more plumbing down there. Crew entry ladders in the back on the cab. Keep in mind this body is brass, so got really high quality body that has a nice weight to it. You've got a fixed cab vent on the roof. You do have a cab interior No crew figures installed on this one. 6200 on the sides legible. Got the trailing trucks there. Under the firebox, set of 3 pair. Deck plate back here. Boiler backhead detail inside. A little hard to see, but I'll try my best to capture it. Got the male connection and 3 different coupling connections for the tender, so you can be either very close or very far if you have wider or narrower curves. The other side, more plumbing. See the dynamo up top there. It's kind of pointing that out on the other side, but I'm not sure you can see it. Quick look at the tender. You've got the coal load up top. Pennsylvania along the side. Beautiful finish. Also brass body. You've got water hatches tucked inside the skirting up there. You could probably see them at an angle. Kind of a lowrider look on this tender here, as you can barely see the trucks. Rear light, rear class lights, crew ladder, coupler cut lever. Oh, no coupler cut lever. I take that back on the back, but there's crew stand, crew entry ladder, separately applied grabs there, and more of the same on the other side. And there's the front of the tender. Real nice looking coal load, not too shiny or fake looking, looks realistic. Let's go ahead and move to operation of this. Alright, we're going to take a look at some sounds, starting with F9 to start up the engine. You can do a startup 2 ways on Broadway Limited. Simply move the locomotive or hit F9. F9 is a little bit more of an extended startup, so let's listen in. Kind of a ghostly sound on this locomotive. That is the startup sequence on it. You've got some other sounds that we'll go through now. One is the bell. Two is the whistle. Use coupler slack, which you won't hear unless you move it. There we go. 4 is air pump. 5 is a blow down and stopped. Moving it increases chuff intensity. F6 is water fill. F7, smoke turns on or off with F7. And it is really smoking, by the way. F8 is mute. You've just got so many different sounds. It's all the way to 28. They completely pack this in. You've got the macro that you can record where it'll go through sequences and you can play it back. But those are the main sounds. I want to get into movement now. So we're going to move this locomotive 1 speed step with 128 on my Prodigy Elite. Very, very smooth out of the box. Pay attention to the drivers and see that. 2, 3, 4, and We're going to go backwards. You're noticing there's no synchronized puff and no chuffing. That's because this turbine didn't chuff. So that's probably why a 5 didn't happen. You do hear an increased pitch on that whine or that whistle, that ghostly sound. That's how these turbines ran. Up to 7 in reverse here. Drop back down to 1 so you can see it. Very, very smooth. There's a headlight again. You may even be able to tell those classification lights have this prism effect. Beautiful job by Broadway Limited, having smoke pour out of all 4 of the smokestacks. Beautiful locomotive. All right, we're going to move this with a pull test here. Broadway Limited is industry best in steam pull tests, I've noticed, and we got 7.5 ounces, which is really insane when you consider 15 cars, standard freight cars per ounce. That's 105, 110 freight cars this thing can pull by itself. Insane. Well, that's going to wrap up this review. Just some final notes I want to go over. The smoke will actually stop after a while. When you hear the turbine sound stop, it'll start back up. The turbine whine increases with the actual RPM that you put on your DCC controller and your speed steps. Great sound. I love the Paragon 3 supplementing this thing. Amazing detail. And really, for a brass hybrid, when you're talking about the price, around the mid 600 range is probably what you're going to find it for, unless it sells out. It's a great price as well. So one of my favorite engines that's not UP, that's not really anything I'm into, this is a new favorite. This thing is awesome, and it's going to be something that I really treasure putting into my collection. Very, very cool. So I'm going to leave you guys with a run-by of just this locomotive. I don't have any rolling stock era specific to go with it, but really it's all you need in a run-by anyway, so I'll leave you with that, and we'll see you next time right here on my channel. Take care.